Pregnant ladies, this video is for you. So I remember when I was 9 months pregnant with my first child, my son, Sol. I was actually 39 weeks and 1 day pregnant, and I was so ready for him to come out. I'm sure you feel me when I say you just feel so big, so heavy, so uncomfortable, and you intuitively feel when the time is right, when you are ready to birth this beautiful baby into the world and get to know this soul that you will be journeying with for the rest of your life. So when I was about 38 weeks pregnant, I started trying all the things to trigger labor and get this pregnancy turning into a delivery. I went on a few bike rides. I spent a couple of days on my hands and knees vigorously digging and gardening. I had lots of sex with hubby. I jumped up and down on the spot. I did all the things, but I still wasn't getting any labor and didn't feel like anything was happening. So finally one day I decided to turn to my crystals, and I taped 2 crystals to my belly, which I will share with you in a moment, and within 12 hours labor started. So this video is about 3 crystals that I recommend to trigger labor. But this video does come with a warning. It is not safe to use any crystals during pregnancy without being able to guarantee that the energies of the stones won't impact the energies of the unborn babies. Some crystal healing practitioners work through pregnancy with clients. I have always chosen not to, because babies are very sensitive to energy and crystals can be more powerful than we realize. So it's not safe to use any of the stones I'm about to mention if you are earlier than 38 weeks pregnant. Once you reach 38 weeks, then the baby's fully formed and it is safe to use these stones to try and speed up that birth process a little bit. Please do not use these if you are earlier than 38 weeks through your pregnancy. Hey beautiful soul, I'm Kate Mantello, the author of Rock On and the founder and CEO of Evolve Healing Institute, a global world-class training institute for crystal and energy healing practitioners. On my channel, you'll learn powerful and proven crystal and energy healing techniques that will take you far beyond any of the usual and generic information you'll find on Google or from a book. That's because I practice what I preach, and everything here comes from decades of personal and professional experience in my own healing room. If you like what you see here, then please subscribe to my channel and check out my website, evolvehealing.net, so you can find out how you can become an elite, world-class crystal or energy healing practitioner too. Enjoy the video. So the first stone that we can use to help speed up the birth process is Moonstone. Moonstone is a really beautiful, soft and gentle stone that we can use to stimulate fertility, so before we actually become pregnant, but we can also use it in the later stages of pregnancy to induce labor and to tell this little one that we're ready to meet them. It's a stone for mothers, womanhood, natural cycles, birth, death, regeneration, and so it really connects with the birth process. Because Moonstone is quite gentle, on its own you might not notice too much action happening, but it's great to pair with one of the other 2 stones that I'm going to share with you, which are much stronger, because it can help soften the effect of them and it can help counteract their strong cleansing and I guess powerful birthing energy that they bring, with a bit more of a soft maternal nurturing energy. The next stone that can help speed up the labor process is Carnelian. Carnelian, like Moonstone, is also a stone that can be used to help with fertility in the early stages before you actually get pregnant. But once you fall pregnant, definitely do not use Carnelian anywhere near your belly, because it is a powerful cleansing stone and it can trigger labor contractions. It can help us cleanse through the blood and menstrual process. So we really don't want to use it until after the 38-week mark when we're ready to deliver. Another aspect about Carnelian is it does supply a lot of positive energy and healing energy to the reproductive organs specifically and the sacral chakra. So it's really great for nurturing your organs and providing them with some high vibrational energy before you go into the labor process, because you're going to need all the positive vibes you can get through that part of your body before you give birth. And finally, the third stone that I recommend to help speed up the labour process is Bloodstone. Bloodstone is quite similar to Carnelian in that it is a very powerful and strong cleansing stone. This stone especially is connected to the menstrual cycle. So once again, disclaimer, please don't use it before 38 weeks of your pregnancy, because it can stimulate contractions. It speaks directly to the uterus, to the menstrual cycle, and it helps us release any trauma in the uterus. It held in the reproductive organs as well as the organs of elimination, and helps us to release anything that's in there. So it can be a great one for stimulating contractions and triggering the birth process, but we certainly don't want to use it early in pregnancy. Because it is quite strong, it's a great idea to pair it with Moonstone, which will help soften the effects of that powerful Bloodstone. So the two stones that I used to trigger my labour were actually Bloodstone and Carnelian. Now at the time, I hadn't been practicing crystal healing for very long. My son is just over 13 years old, so I had only been working with crystals for about 18 months at that time, and I underestimated how strong these stones were. So my labour started within, actually I taped the stones on my belly that morning, probably at about 10 a.m. and then at 5 p.m. that evening my labour started. My labour came on really suddenly. It was very strong. I had really strong contractions right from the start, and my labour started with sitting on the toilet and having really painful cramps and diarrhea. So the stones did work very effectively, but it was perhaps a little strong, and being my first delivery, I hadn't had any experience with birth, so it took me a little bit by surprise. My son was delivered naturally, but the pain was quite intense, and he did get a little bit stuck, and there was a little bit of birth trauma there as well. So definitely did the job, but if I had my time over, I wouldn't have used the Bloodstone and the Carnelian together. I would have used just one of these stones with a Moonstone, and I think that that would have helped the process be a little bit less intense and a little bit more gentle. So that's just my personal experience. Baby was fine, I was fine, it was a successful delivery, and Sol is a happy, healthy 13-year-old boy. But yes, the birth was quite an intense experience and was definitely quite fast for a first birth as well. How can we work with these stones if we want to trigger labour? Well, what I did is I actually taped the stones to my belly, and I gave birth with the stones still taped to my belly. And because I used surgical tape, I spent a few hours in a birthing pool, I was on the bed, and the crystals stayed there throughout the whole time. The midwife commented on them, and my son was born with the crystals still taped to my belly. So you can choose to tape the crystals to your belly, or you can choose a more gentle approach and just spend some time sitting up if lying down on your back's too uncomfortable, holding the crystals pressed against your uterus or against your belly where the baby is, and just send that message of, I'm ready to meet you, it's time, I'm ready for this journey to come to an end and for a new one to begin, seeing you face to face, I can't wait to meet you. So sending those kind of really beautiful intentions into your bubba, let them know how much you love them, how excited that you are to hold them in your arms, and also sending your body much love and much care that it needs at this beautiful and amazing transformational time. You got this, mama.